Welcome to this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm your host, Gina Jordan.
I'm a groovy guy.
Coming up in this episode of Movies You Want to Watch, Selena Gomez and Billy Crudup make sweet music together on the big screen in William H. Macy's directorial debut, Rudderless.
It's an independent film, so there's no fixing it.
And it's David Cross's directorial debut, Hits.
I want to get guys who are going to be able to just get in there and mix it up.
Plus, Nikki Reed and Fran Kranz solve a mystery in the quirky comedy Murder of a Cat.
She looked at me like I was crazy.
That's all coming up right now on Movies You Want to Watch. Before they hit the theater.
Do you want a cup of me with Koofy?
Before they win an Oscar, watch a sneak peek at Hollywood's latest films and the talent who stars in them.
I was drooling a lot last year.
I'm very badly behaved.
It's Movies You Want to Watch with me, Gina Jordan.
Please let me be in this movie.
You know you wanna.
You know you wanna.
You know you wanna.
Welcome to this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm Gina Jordan, coming at you from the historic Cinema Village Theater right here in New York City. Our team recently took a field trip all the way to Park City, Utah to attend the 30th annual Sundance Film Festival. This first movie you want to watch premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, Rudderless. Whoa! Yeah, that's William H. Macy, who was ambushed at the premiere of his directorial debut, Rudderless.
I have no idea who that is.
Rudderless is a musical drama that marks William H. Macy's directorial debut, starring his wife, Felicity Huffman, Billy Crudup, Selena Gomez, and Anton Yelchin. I thought you were a crazy fan for a second when I was interviewing Mr. Bill Macy.
That?
He
I
does
meant
good
to
TV.
tackle him when he was out here, and I really wanted to take him down, but he scooted in here before
Watch out for the blonde. Oh, it's your wife. It's okay. Rudderless follows Crudup's character as he discovers his deceased son's musical talents and hopes to carry on his music.
It's a complex script. It's redemptive. There's a lot of music in it, which is near and dear to my heart.
You're a music lover?
Yeah.
How do I know that? You're a groovy guy.
I'm a
Cool
groovy guy.
cat.
That's how you know that.
This may be Macy's first time directing a feature film, but he's been starring in movies and television for over 30 years. His award-worthy list of films include Magnolia, Seabiscuit, and Fargo.
Okay, I'll do a damn luck count.
Sir, right now?
Yeah, right now. You're darn tootin'.
The 64-year-old recently returned to television in 2011 for his role as a loudmouth alcoholic, Frank Gallagher, on the hit Showtime series Shameless.
I want you to break my leg. I need the insurance money. It's the only way I'll be able to pay for the transplant.
The multi-talented Macy took a break from Shameless to direct and act in Rudderless. Macy plays a local bartender. The Oscar nom admitted that there's a certain maturity that comes along with directing a film. Bill, you have been at Sundance many times, but this is your first directorial debut. How does it feel?
It's different. It's slightly different, but you feel a little bit more like a grown-up. I'm the grown-up in the room as opposed to an actor, which is, well, I'm not sure what actors are.
No
it's
comment.
Sweet. It's a sweet feeling, I must say. I'm a lucky guy. I love my career. At this point in my career, to get to do a film, it scared me to death, I must say. The learning curve is quite steep.
What scared you about it? The actual communicating with people? Or because clearly you're good at that.
It's a stunning amount of work. You have no idea. You look behind you and there's no one there.
Safe to say, directing a feature film proved much more challenging for Macy than he expected.
It's an independent film, so there's no fixing it. Okay, here's a great example. One day I was saying to myself, sit down, you're going to faint. You've got to just calm down. There are highly paid professionals. There are professionals, they weren't highly paid. It's fine, just sit in your chair. It's going to be a great shot. I remember the moment I did it. The next day I looked at the dailies. Here's Anton Yelchin. And here's Billy Crudup, and behind them, in the deep background, is a young woman in a bikini lying on a boat looking directly into the lens. That's what happened when I took my eye off the ball for a second and calmed down.
Yet Macy admitted when it was time to direct his wife, that turned out to be a completely different experience. How'd you get your wife to be in the film and tell her you're going to tell her what to do every day?
Wait till you see her in this thing. You feel like she's all through the film. She's got about 4 or 5 scenes. It's stunning. I was smart enough to just push the button on the camera when Billy and Felicity did their scenes together and stay out of the way.
Macy and Huffman starred together in the 1999 hit film Magnolia. Macy also served as executive producer on Transamerica, for which Huffman took home a Golden Globe.
Dude, this is great. Wish you would stop calling me dude.
Macy joked that even after 14 years of marriage together, Huffman still gets jealous. How does your wife beat off all the women that hit on her?
She carries a small handgun.
Macy's other half plays Emily in Rudderless, a grieving mother who lost her son. How was it to be directed by your husband?
It was great. I loved it. I love being directed by him. I mean, it's tight because it's an indie, so everything's like, do it now and don't ask me a question.
Macy had Huffman in mind for the part, but Felicity admitted she had her own way of auditioning.
I think when he started, he got the script and then he was rewriting it with the writers quite a bit, and I think he had me in mind and asked me to do it, and I said yes. It helps when you're sleeping with the director. The casting couch is alive and well.
In Hollywood, it's never been a big deal for the leading man to be older than his leading lady. For Huffman, when it came to taking on the role of Crudup's slightly older wife, well, she had some reservations.
Then they cast Billy Crudup, and I actually went, I can't do it now because it's like Mrs. Robinson, it felt like. I was like Billy Crudup's mother or elderly Anne. So I sort of backed out for a while, but then it was too close to when we were shooting, so I went in and did it. I have to say, acting with Billy Crudup was a lesson. It raised the level of my game, yeah. It was our first scene. I think it was an intense one. And, he kept very much to himself because the part was demanding. So I sort of said hello, but it's not like we were chatting a lot. And I just remember, I think they shot the rehearsal, and I remember stepping back and going, oh my God. Oh, okay. That's the level we're playing at? I don't know if I can even keep up. I mean, it was shocking. He's just it was flawless. He's flawless.
According to the rest of the cast, including Joey Basici, Huffman's performance was just as powerful as Crudup's.
Felicity's awesome. I mean, she's just, man, when you watch her get in the scene and she has those moments where all of a sudden she makes the whole crew go silent. You're like, wow, you're in the presence of a real actress. And, that's why she was, nominated for Transamerica. You really feel greatness.
Basici revealed his co-star, Billy Crudup, changed his life before the two ever met.
Yeah, he inspired me. My father was a cross-country high school coach, so I watched the Prefontaine movie. So Billy and Jared Leto were the reason why I became an actor, and so it just kind of, the day before I was supposed to sign my letter of intent, I told my dad, I'm going to be an actor. Didn't go to school.
Crudup didn't just win over Huffman and Basici. He wowed fans at Sundance with an impromptu live performance alongside his Rudderless co-star, Selena Gomez. The duo sang actual songs that made it onto the film's soundtrack. In Rudderless, Gomez plays the girlfriend of Crudup's deceased son, an uncharacteristically dark role for the Disney star.
She had a lot of pain and anger behind her, and it was a perfect opportunity for me to do that before I go in sparkly wardrobe and dance and be happy on stage.
Gomez revealed she was excited to have an opportunity to fuse her love of music and acting in Rudderless. Crudup wasn't as confident.
When Bill called Billy to offer him the role, the first thing he said was, "Can you sing?" And Billy said, "Not a lick." He said, "What about play guitar?" He said, "Don't know how to." And he was like, "Okay, you're hired." But no,
doesn't matter.
He does sing well, and he learned all of the chords and all of the music, and
he sings. I mean,
he sings.
It's the actors singing in the film, which I think is really great. And Billy says he has not a good voice, but he has a great voice. It sounds great.
Very humble.
Yeah, I think this is Billy's best work he's done.
Better than Almost Famous.
Better than Almost Famous. I'm going to say that right now. He touches your heart. He touches your heart. He makes you laugh. He makes you cry. And he's a rock star.
Rudderless is a movie you want to watch, and it hits theaters later this year. Still to come,
I want to get guys who are going to be able to just get in there and mix it up.
it's David Cross's directorial debut, Hits. Plus, Nikki Reed and Fran Kranz solve a mystery in the quirky comedy Murder of a Cat.
She looked at me like I was crazy.
Don't move. Movies you want to watch. I'll be right back. When you hit Park City, Utah, the #1 dining destination you can't miss is the River Horse restaurant on Main Street. River Horse has been serving up 5-star eclectic American cuisine since 1987. Signature dishes like the mouth-watering pistachio-encrusted halibut are thanks to executive chef and co-owner Seth Adams.
We try to do the best job we can every day, and we like what we do.
The River Horse is open year-round for lunch and dinner, located at 540 Main Street in the heart of scenic Park City, Utah. Welcome back to this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm your host, Gina Jordan. Our next film that we're featuring is all the way from the 30th Annual Sundance Film Festival. It's called Hits, the directorial debut of David Cross.
I've been here a number of times, and it's nice to come back with something that I believe in.
This is a duo.
Yeah.
I'm Gina. Hi.
Hi, Gina.
Pleasure to meet you guys in the mix. Hi, Matt. And you're?
Gina.
and I'm David. I'm Matt. Okay. You guys are fun.
Hits premiered at Sundance, written and directed by comedic genius David Cross.
I just wanted to throw him in the mix. What I did when I wrote the screenplay, which is originally titled In the Mix, 2 X's, was like, I want to get guys who are going to be able to just get in there and mix it up. So I called Matt. I said, hey man, I want to throw you in the mix.
Yeah, and the whole process was about just mix it up. His only note was like, guys, mix it up. Like, it wasn't helpful actually at some point.
Cross is best known for his roles on screen in several projects, including Arrested Development and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Hey, does anybody want a joint?
God, Rob, give it a rest.
In Hits, David crosses over from in front to behind the camera for his big directorial debut. The film stars a hilarious ensemble, including Matt Walsh, Michael Cera, Aaron Hayes, Jason Ritter, and James Adomian.
You got this really cool movie there, and you need to kind of find a better balance, because we were relying too much on comedy, so we pulled some of that stuff out. Sorry, James. Glad your stuff got cut.
For Cross, Hits was a passion project with a unique premise. The film explores fame today and the crazy lengths people will go to achieve it.
It's definitely a story about, or an observation on fame in 21st century America, and how you don't have to do anything to be famous, and people want that they don't have any discernible talent, but that's what they desire just because they think they deserve it.
According to Cross, Hits is inspired by reality stars such as, who else? Those Kardashians.
Ask Kanye, okay? I don't know if he'd agree with you on that.
No, he shouldn't. He's married to an example of what I'm talking about. It's a observation about that, but it's also, there's relationships involved. I mean, Matt plays the dad to Meredith's daughter, and she really desires fame. He doesn't want to be famous, but he has fame thrust upon him, and then she sees the one thing she wants is not happening for her, and it's happening for everybody else, and then it leads to this climactic scene.
Walsh plays Dave, an unlikely town revolutionary who's simply looking to get his street paved when suddenly one of his usual rants goes public, catapulting him begrudgingly into instant fame.
I think it is a neat exploration of like fame and what people are willing to do to get it, and also people who get it who don't want it. And I think it's about a small town with if you grow up there you have few options, and I think it's a neat.
That's very much part of it.
Yeah, it's a sweet. Yeah. It's a sweet exploration of that as well.
Actor, writer, producer James Adomian brought his funny to the big screen. He plays Donovan, the man semi-responsible for making Walsh's character Dave famous.
I'm not famous. I'm James Adomian. I play Donovan. I am a very earnest, sort of Etsy, craftsy kind of person, and then I get pulled into this activist movement associated with a viral video, and I think it's my moment to be like, like a major political savior. It's about the intersection of fame and art in contemporary American culture. When I saw the script, I understand that it was funny, but mostly I wanted to make serious sociological points. And I think, as funny as it may or may not be, I'm in it for the trenchant cultural commentary. If you take yourself serious for any reason, you're gonna get made fun of. So I think it's fun to make fun of things that, maybe take themselves too seriously, and definitely fame in the USA is in need of a good laugh.
Erin Hayes plays Dr. Lola Spratt on the popular live-action TV series Children's Hospital on the Adult Swim Network. Hayes also stars in hits as Adomian's wife, Maddie.
It's really a look at fame today and the YouTube culture and being famous for nothing. And so it's like a girl who wants to be famous but has no talent, and then her dad, who doesn't want to be famous at all and kind of gets it thrust on him, and how they both deal with that. It's a little bit of the Kardashians, or people who really want to be the Kardashians. And that thing of just viral videos and being famous for having sex and getting pregnant as an underage teen, like weird fame. I think that it's just that it's attainable, that you don't have to work really hard at a craft, or if you just do something flashy or get noticed for something, then you can get your 15 minutes and get your reality show and get on in these magazines.
Literally, you just need to flash something and eventually
flash something, hump something.
This isn't the first time Hayes has worked with Cross. In 2012, she co-starred with David in It's a Disaster.
Emma's moving out.
Why? Because we're getting a divorce. I did a movie called It's a Disaster, available to watch on Netflix and iTunes, that was out last year with David Cross. And so when he wrote this, he emailed me, and I actually had to stop and go, do I need to read the script before I say yes, or do you I was on. David Cross is an amazing director. He's worked so fast. I came in the last 3 days of shooting, and they all went upstate, and the whole cast and crew stayed in a hotel. So then I walked in the last 2 days oh cool, no, you guys are a family, great. Okay, I'll just be here. But it was fast, it was fun.
But then you fit in right away.
Yeah, it was great, it was wonderful. And all my scenes are with James Adomian, who plays my husband, and Michael Cera, who is our drug dealer. It was really just the three of us. All my stuff is contained, but we had this great, fun scene where David Cross told me and James, just don't tell Michael, but just don't let him leave the apartment. So we just had to kind of get up in his face, and he just had to he kept trying to get away from us, and we just went on, and I think it went on for 3 minutes of us just inviting him in, let him take a bath, why don't you do this, let's do this, invite him to everything, so that was fun.
In hits, Jake Cherry plays a high school student named Corey.
Yeah, I was the youngest person on set. Everybody would be buying drinks, and I'd have to be sipping some, soda.
You have to wear a fake, mustache or soul patch.
Oh yeah, no, I would have an entire beard. I'd look like Gandalf. It'd be great.
Cherry may be 17 years old, but he's already got quite the resume.
I was actually here a few years ago for the movie The Son of No One. That was with Channing Tatum, Al Pacino, Tracy Morgan, Ray Liotta.
Oh, look at you. Just small little names. Did you share the screen with any of those big names?
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of scenes, actually, mostly with Al Pacino. We worked a lot opposite each other in that movie.
What was that like?
It was incredible is the best way I could describe it. He has such a presence, and he takes it so seriously, and he puts so much passion into every take, and it's obvious. And, to work against that is so fulfilling as an actor, because you have to match the same level and the same intensity, and I think you just, build off of it, and I think, it was a great experience.
Jerry isn't new to the comedy scene. The actor starred alongside Ben Stiller in Night at the Museum.
I was actually in the movie The Night at the Museum. I played Ben Stiller's son in that. I worked with Ben Stiller, Robin Williams, Dick Van Dyke, Mickey Rooney. It was really a great experience. I was 9 years... What
was it like to work with Ben?
It was great. He was so funny when we would be filming, but when we weren't, he was just a regular guy. It was a job to him, and I think it showed, and it was great to work with him, because he really is so funny at what he does, and it was a joy to work with him. I was really young, so I really had at the time I didn't really know who he was exactly, but able to reflect on it. It was incredible to have the experience that I had at such a young age.
Son of the late comedic genius John Ritter is Jason. The 34-year-old actor didn't always think he would follow in his famous father's footsteps.
Did you think you were going to go into his line of work?
I did when I was a kid, and then when I became a teenager, I really couldn't think of anything I wanted to do less. The idea of anyone looking at me at all, I was just like, oh, get away. I got really shy. And then towards the end of high school, I wanted to do it again.
After starring on the popular TV series Parenthood and the feature film thriller Freddy vs. Jason, Ritter Jr. is finally comfortable in his own skin. Now he's ready to show the world his unique style of acting, and what better project than Cross's directorial debut.
I've been a fan of his for a long time, since Mr. Show, and so it was very exciting and terrifying, because you want your hero's approval. And I was scared I would get to set and he'd go, no, 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 what are you doing? But he didn't do that.
He didn't do that?
In Hits, Ritter plays Julian, a musical con artist.
I played Julian, who's basically a sleazy guy who, he basically, the one thing going for him is he has a recording setup in his house. Not a very good one, but enough to sort of rip off anybody who wants to make a demo or record a song.
Ritter admits his garage band days helped him prep for the role.
Are you a music man yourself?
Yeah, I like music, and I play music a little bit, and yeah.
What do you play?
I play bass guitar and I play guitar, but not very well, either of them. I'm a very mediocre musician, but I do like I do like music, and I like playing music.
Are you in a band? I mean, have you ever been in a band?
Yeah, I've been in a couple bands.
Garage band?
Yeah, got a couple bands, Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi and stuff like that. I played in a couple bands with friends and stuff like that. It's fun. I love doing that.
Thanks to Ritter, Walsh, and Cross, Hits is a movie you want to watch, and it's in theaters later this year. Still to come.
She looked at me like I was crazy.
Nikki Reed and Fran Kranz solve a mystery in the quirky comedy Murder of a Cat. Don't move. Movies you want to watch will be right back.
Just point.
With nowhere to look,
Just move.
to turn.
Just share.
You saw me
As you naturally would.
and showed me
Just point.
how much I still
Just move.
have to learn.
Just share.
And the odds
Smart. Inspired by you. LG Cinema 3D Smart TV.
This episode of Movies You Want to Watch is presented by LG. Welcome back. I'm Gina Jordan, bringing you movies you want to watch. Our hardworking team here recently hit the Tribeca Film Festival to bring you this next movie you want to watch, Murder of a Cat.
Are you having a lot of love tonight or what?
Yeah, it's a lot of love. It's Tribeca Film Festival.
The quirky and comedic murder mystery stars Leo Knob, Fran Kranz, and Twilight actress Nikki Reed.
You have a choice. I didn't.
Reed, who also writes, directs, and even sings, broke away from the serious side of the vampire saga to play a more eccentric character, Greta, in Murder of a Cat.
I'm calling the police.
Wait.
Don't move. I will whack your balls with my flute.
Murder of a Cat brings together two unlikely partners, Greta and Clinton, played by Fran Kranz. The two are on a quest to solve the, what else, murder of a cat.
It is my cat, too. I don't think it's my
Right, yeah.
cat.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it's her cat too.
The comedic duo clearly had chemistry on and off screen.
Nikki's the best. Nikki came in really early and we really hit it off and had great chemistry and yeah, exactly. Nikki was sort of always the part, you know what I mean? And so we had a really great time.
Believe it or not, Reed wasn't the only reason Kranz wanted to take the role. The Cabin in the Woods and Much Ado About Nothing star loved the original screenplay.
The script is so amazing, it's so original, it's so creative that I fought for it. I don't think I was the only one for it, but I certainly fought for it, and luckily I got it and we did it, and I think it's really fun and cool and really different, which I think is important because I think there's too many movies that are sequels in franchises and exactly the same thing over and over, and this movie's absolutely not that. This movie's very unique.
When it came to casting for the film Murder of a Cat, director Gillian Green knew Fran was the only man for the part.
Clinton is a 28-year-old guy who lives with his mom, and his cat gets murdered. And he has a little bit of arrested development. He's a little bit of a loser. But when his cat gets murdered and the local sheriff won't do anything about it, he has to rise to the occasion to solve the murder. So in that process, it's sort of a coming-of-age story. And I don't want to give it away, but he may solve the murder and in that process becomes a hero and grows up.
What is that? Is that my flyer?
Yes! Yes, and I want to know why there's a picture of my cat on it, not to mention all over your walls.
What? Fran is an incredible actor who is just so funny and so entertaining, and he's really a leading man. He's not winking at the audience. He's not there to wink at the audience. He's there to be, he plays it straight, and I think that's what makes it a smart comedy. It's really because of Fran, and he was my only choice for this movie. I can't imagine anyone else in this film. I really wanted Fran.
Gillian said that you were the only one for the part. You're a leading man, and you're the only.
Sweet of her. We had actually worked together, and we did a short film called Fanboy with her and Sam Raimi producing. He actually acted in it, which was a lot of fun.
Fran was so appreciative of the opportunity to star in Murder of a Cat, he dedicated his Tribeca premiere attire to green.
Did you wear this suit in honor of Gillian tonight?
Good call. I didn't really think of that. It's funny though. I mentioned the other night, I was like, I'm gonna wear a green suit, and she looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, don't wear a green suit. And now that you're like, oh, but it's in honor of Gillian Green, I'm like, well, what the hell, yeah.
Fran admitted he wasn't always a leading man.
Fran is short for Francis.
Francis, yeah.
But you go by Fran.
I went by Fran. My grandfather went by Frank. I went by Fran because I had another grandfather on the other side, step-grandfather, who went by Fran. So growing up, I always thought Fran was the way to go. It didn't help in school. I was made fun of either way, but yeah.
Well, it looks like Fran got the last laugh. Co-starring alongside brunette bombshell Nikki Reed, director Green praised the actress for her flawless audition.
She actually came into audition and beat everybody else out for the part. She was by far the best actress, and that's why we hired her. So she's a movie star, but she was also the best actress and won the part.
Actor Leo Nam also stars in Murder of a Cat as Yi Kim, a mysterious Korean store clerk with a dark side.
It's funny, it's hilarious, it's definitely quirky. It's kind of like one of those movies that makes you feel good about loving a cat, loving somebody else, finding love, discovering love. It comes in different ways. And so this is a funny, original way that love comes. And it's, who loves to laugh? Everyone loves to laugh.
Nam's been a fan of his co-star Nikki Reed since her film debut in 13, which she starred in and co-wrote.
Cute shirt. Call me after school. We can go shopping.
Oh, I love Nikki. I love Nikki and I love Fran. So Nikki was in a movie that totally changed my life, a movie called 13. And the honesty and the bravery that she did in that movie, not only to write it and to be in that movie. I remember when I first met her, I was like, you know what? You're the type of artist that really has changed my life. And so it's so wonderful to work with someone like that. And she was so wonderful to be with on set.
The sisterhood of the traveling pants star admitted it wasn't always easy staying in character on set.
Fran is so funny. So, he'd riff a lot. And there'd be scenes, I kind of play a guy that's very stoic and kind of crazy in his own way. And I'd be in these scenes and I'd be looking at Fran being like, okay, Leo, just don't laugh right now because it's so funny, but don't laugh right now. He's great.
I can't imagine Leo stoic. Sorry.
I don't this. Hi.
Murder of a Cat is a movie you want to watch, and it hits theaters later this year. That's going to do it for this episode of Movies You Want to Watch. I'm Gina Jordan, signing off from the Cinema Village in Greenwich Village, Manhattan. We look forward to seeing you next time. You know you wanna. This week's Celebrity Selfie Shot is brought to you by LG. Life's good.
You're not in the scene.
Yeah.
Guys written, and there's no reason for your character to be here, but get in there. Get in the mix.
Doing a selfie. Ooh, are you all right?
Or if you did something, you say, no, mix it up. And then you didn't know, then it'd be like angry, mix it up. And it was weird.
You know you